Chicago Symphony Center is home for one of the world's great performing ensembles, the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. The giants of classical music have performed here. As part of its mission, the symphony seeks to share the work of living composers with its audience, something increasingly rare today. And now a composer at Brigham Young University finds his place among those who have had Chicago Symphony Orchestra commissions. Stephen Jones is in the Windy City for the world premiere of his work entitled At the Exactest Point.
The first feeling was at the airport, setting my foot down and just looking around and saying, there are going to be thousands of people with whom I get to share my work this weekend. And I was very, very grateful to be able to share it with people I don't know personally, but who I love.
In Provo, Stephen Jones presides over one of BYU's largest academic units, the College of Fine Arts and Communications. There are endless meetings with college staff as well as university administration. But in his schedule is time to sit at a piano and compose music.
Composers think in sound. The first idea is a short snippet of material of some kind. They look for possibilities inside of that material. Most composers today work with the support of a university. It's wonderful because universities have ensembles. They have musicians that can play composers' work. I'm very, very thankful to be at BYU and be part of a community of making music. I was touched, as were many in the church, by President Kimball's vision of the arts. He said that the best had not yet been composed or performed. I believe that the people of the College of Fine Arts and Communications and many other trained and willing Latter-day Saints have both a responsibility and an opportunity to make and recreate art and share it with the world in a way that will uplift and bless many, many thousands of lives.
Dean Jones' fascination with music began when his family bought a piano and he started taking lessons. At the tender age of 9, he knew something profound had happened in his life. He discovered a gift for music. He washed windows of a music shop in exchange for sheet music.
And one of the salespeople there, the son of the music store's owner, invited me to go to the Utah Symphony, and that was a revelation for me. It opened up a whole new world. There I watched Marisa Bravanel conduct the Utah Symphony in the Salt Lake Tabernacle, and he would sponsor special concerts during the season for works by modern composers, living composers. And I didn't always love all of the music, but something inside just compelled me to go to these concerts that featured new music.
His undergraduate studies at BYU convinced Jones his talent lay with connecting notes on pencil and paper rather than on a piano keyboard. Following graduate school, he began teaching and composing at BYU. A commission from the Utah Symphony led to the opportunity to compose for the Chicago Symphony. It's only a few hours before the new work entitled At the Exactest Point premieres. Stephen Jones confers with the Chicago Symphony's Mead composer-in-residence, Augusta Reed Thomas. There are still a few adjustments to be made despite 2 days of rehearsal.
You change dynamics, you talk to the conductor and ask him to have the players make the attack very sharp at a certain spot, and sometimes you live with it.
Ms. Thomas makes the recommendation to the CSO's artistic management regarding which composer to commission. She sifts through hundreds of submissions each year, selecting only a handful of composers for consideration.
What I'm looking for is music that is honest, passionate, integral, imaginative. There's a certain kind of sparkle about it, and also kind of a willingness to have a vision and to stand by a vision. I think Steve Jones has his own voice. He's going on his own path and forging his own river. He's not holding on to the coattails of like some tradition or some one composer that he's trying to copy or follow. It's his own statement, and that's what I like about it.
Opening idea.
With a little over an hour before the premiere, Stephen Jones and Augusta Reed Thomas are on stage at Orchestra Center. Audience members who came early are getting a preview of the new work.
I truly believe that any sensitive person who faces this music can find something that they can appreciate. At the heart of this composer is a desire to speak something of value.
The pre-concert lecture is also a time for the dean to share some of what inspires his compositions.
I believe people have a spirit in them. And when you hear my piece tonight, in some measure, I think you're hearing that spirit. It's noble at times. It's very silent and still at times. And it's, I hope, refined. And all of those spiritual qualities, I believe, get expressed in the music.
Stephen Jones spent 4 years working for this moment. Sir Andrew Davis, guest conductor, steps to the podium to lead the Chicago Symphony Orchestra in the world's first hearing of At the Exactest Point.
The orchestra asked me when we were planning this program to do a new work. I liked Stephen Jones' piece very much. I thought it had some very interesting textures and ideas and lots of energy. And my job as a conductor and an orchestra player's job also is to reproduce the composer's vision as best he can, and then it's certainly for the audience to decide what role this fulfills for them.
This is an interesting title. It's a line taken from a Wallace Stevens poem, At the Exactest Point. And in the poem, the poet is talking about a moment where everything becomes clear and focused, and he sees exactly the way things are. I think writing music is very much like that. One works with the material such that it's guided and shaped until a climax is reached or a conclusion is reached that begins to explain what that musical journey was all about. The Chicago Symphony is well known for its brass section. The brass section is legendary. The ideas themselves actually have to be written with the instruments in mind. While the piece is written for the brass, the entire orchestra is used in a very virtuosic way. It's a piece that only a major orchestra could play. This idea of discovery, this journey of discovery, both for the audience who experiences the piece and for the composer who creates it, is a terribly important venture. It's about preserving our culture and extending it. It's an expression of the human spirit. And I believe it to be a key force that we have to preserve and cultivate more than we do in order for us to find civility and humanity in our world today.
The first performance of At the Exactest Point finished, Stephen Jones receives the audience's appreciation. A reception follows the concert, where university friends and alumni gather. Members of the Jones family are here as well.
It's the proudest moment a person could ever have. To see their son achieve like this and to see the other achievements in his life. I don't know how Cloud 9 is, but I know I was right up there somewhere. It was a wonderful experience, a wonderful evening.
Words can't explain it. It's like being in labor and seeing the final project happen, and it's delivery night, and it's been awesome. Really an awesome experience.
Well, I was thinking here we are in Chicago with one of the 5 top orchestras in America, and they're playing a work by our dean, which represents an incredible talent, and the audience was phenomenal.
The Chicago Symphony performs At the Exactest Point twice more during their slate of concerts for the week. The fear among composers is that their work will never receive another hearing after the premiere. BYU's record label, Tantera, plans to make this hearing available for years to come through a soon-to-be-released CD recording. This exact point of arrival in Stephen Jones' career marks a celebration worthy of a Wallace Stevens poem. In the end and the way to the end, Alpha continues to begin. Omega is refreshed at every end.